There it is. So that's the poster that they've decided to release for Starfleet Academy, and you can see the young cohorts there, the young Starfleet cadets. I mean, honestly, Watchdog, is there anything there that looks even remotely Star Trek?
No, it looks like one of those the shows you'd watch when you're like a teenager, an angsty teenager, like Dawson's Creek. I don't know. It just doesn't look like a sci-fi show. I don't think it will be a sci-fi show. I think it will be like a high school with weird-looking people in it that are meant to be aliens.
Well, I mean, I know that we've spoken about the Klingon character before, and the fact that he, sits cross-legged like a true warrior, I suppose. And it's set in a Starfleet universe. I cannot understand how someone could see the IP, the intellectual property that is Star Trek, and think that this was an appropriate way to go. I can't see it. I don't know what planet they're living on.
Yeah, no, I agree, because Star Trek has done kind of growing pains really well. Obviously with Jake Sisko, obviously he grew up on Deep Space Nine. Do you know what I mean? That was it was great to see his relationship with Nog. Obviously they were kids and they became teenagers, then young adults, and that was a great kind of journey to see. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They grew up, they had the growing pains that teenagers have, and all that good stuff, but it was done in a Star Trek like way. There's so many examples of it. Even Prodigy, obviously you had like a group of kids essentially, from different kind of like species who just kind of learned to work together. Whereas this is just going to be Dawson's Creek, not even in space, because it'll be on Earth. They're going to be mostly on Earth. It's just like I don't know. As I say, it's not going to add anything to the franchise. I feel so unenthused about it, and especially after season 3 of Strange New Worlds, which was just so derivative and so disappointing. It's like you almost don't want to put yourself through it, because you're just like, I just had enough of this iteration of Trek.
Yeah, there's just a lack of artistry there. There's a lack of thought, and again, a poster or a trailer or any kind of press material is going to give you an idea of, or is supposed to give you an idea of what the show is all about. This is what the show is going to be. It's not going to be a Star Trek show. It's not going to be anything in the spirit of Star Trek. They'll have all the fancy one-liners for, describing a Star Trek show and what they think a Star Trek show should be. About space exploration, the exploration of the human condition. This is going to be nothing like it. Now, I think back to The Next Generation, and I think back to, things like The First Duty and Valiant from Deep Space Nine, and, how they depicted Starfleet Academy. This is the academy that Nog went to, and he became the first Ferengi Starfleet officer. All really interesting character arcs, really interesting stories. I don't think, if you think back to The First Duty, and obviously with not Tom Paris in it, but Nicholas Locarno and Wesley Crusher, and that was a story involving some pretty standard facets of young people's thought processes. Same with Valiant. Cocky, young, eager, wanting to dazzle and amaze, wanting to be a hero without actually understanding what a hero is, and I think that this show is literally going to be a very much he slept with her, she's not going out with him. There's a love triangle, probably between these two. I think this is this girl in the white dress. That's probably the one that was shouting broccoli in the trailer, and she's with the guy who's just going to tell her that she's all amazing and all powerful and all awesome. And then we've got oddly missing the Femme Hadar, but I don't think she's in the group. I don't think she's part of the team. I think she's just the instructor. And then we've got Miss can't complete a handshake here, as well as the Klingon Beta, the Beta Klingon, and I don't know. stud of the month on the end there. So yeah, it's nothing about this screams Star Trek whatsoever, and I would be almost tempted not to even bother covering it. I'd like to also say that I would be fair to this show, but it's going to be a challenge